Hi Rock Buds, Papa. Today we're going to talk about the Nashville Basin and the highland rim that surrounds it and how those relate to the Cumberland Plateau. We're going to find out exactly where these geologic provinces are located, and we're going to find out how they formed and what is their place in the geologic time scale. So hold on, here we go, but first please subscribe. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed. Off we go. This Rock D geology map shows the general area that we're talking about. Each color represents a different group of rocks. The city of Nashville is located right where the T of Tennessee is. Hopefully this map will make it easier for you to figure out where these features are located. The Cumberland Plateau is between the two long red lines on the right. To the southeast or east of that is the Valley and Ridge province. The blue circle encircles roughly the Highland Rim province, and the red circle circles roughly the Nashville Basin. Hi guys, I think the first thing that we need to look at is how all these features formed and when, so let's take a look at that. When Africa crashed into North America during Pennsylvanian and Permian time, it pushed the existing rocks that were in layers up into upfolds and downfolds. The upfolds are called anticlines, the downfolds are called synclines. Now guys, here's a secret of geology. When upfolds, anticlines form, when they start to erode their mountains, but after they've been eroding for a long time, they form valleys. Isn't that weird? On the other hand, synclines, when they first form, are valleys, but after a long time of erosion, they become uplands or mountains. So going back to our map, when Africa crashed, it turned the Cumberland Plateau into a gentle syncline, and that's why it sticks up now. On the other hand, it turned the Nashville Basin and the Highland Rim into an anticline, and that's why it eroded into a valley and a basin. Let's look at this in more detail. This funky drawing that I did shows 4 rock layers that have just been pushed up into an anticline. Now let's see what happens when the anticline erodes. The pressure from the rocks being pushed up into an anticline caused many cracks to form that let water and ice in that very quickly, geologically speaking, eroded away the center of the anticline. After eons of erosion, you end up with a valley, or in this case, a flat, relatively flat basin with the oldest rocks in the center of the basin, and then successively younger rocks going up on either side of the basin. So the Nashville Basin, which is the blue area in this picture, has the oldest rocks in the sequence. And those are Ordovician limestone that were deposited as the foreland basin of the Taconic orogeny. The rolling hills of the Highland Rim, which roughly surrounds the Nashville Basin and is represented by the yellow and red colors on the picture, are younger than the rocks of the Nashville Basin. This here Highland Rim is made of Mississippian limestone on top of Fort Payne Chert, on top of Chattanooga Shale, and all these deposits were part of the Alleghenian orogeny, foreland basin. The Cumberland Plateau tops the Highland Rim, especially on the east or right side, where it forms the Cumberland Mountains. Here you have the coal, sandstone, and shale that represent the erosion products of the gigantic Alleghenian Mountains. completely filling up the Alleghenian orogeny foreland basin. And rock buds, even as these sediments were being deposited during the Alleghenian orogeny, they were also being pushed up and folded into the anticlines and synclines that eventually eroded, forming the Nashville Basin, surrounded by the Highland Rim, surrounded by the Cumberland Plateau. Hey guys, let's look at some of these rocks. Presenting Ordovician limestone of the Nashville Basin for your viewing enjoyment. Some cool fossils in these rocks, like the little round things are crinoid fossil stem segments, and the butterfly-looking thing is likely a brachiopod. And now some Mississippian limestone for your viewing enjoyment. Here's some Mississippian limestone fossils. Once again, we have crinoid stems and segments, and look at this fantastic crinoid fossil, almost the whole thing from the Natural History Museum. And here's a cool crinoid fossil that I found in Churty limestone, the St. Louis and Warsaw limestone, which is Mississippian limestone, in the western Highland Rim, a little bit west of Nashville, Tennessee. Okay guys, there you have it. The Nashville Basin and the Highland Rim and the Cumberland Plateau. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for subscribing. This is Papa saying happy rock hunting. Papa.